Welcome to Profiling Evil's digital newsletter, the BOLO. One of the areas that we're going to explore in 2021 is cult behaviors. So let's talk about the red flags of cult membership. I've received a lot of questions about cults now that my new book, Deceived, an investigative memoir of the Zion Society cult, has been released. The pervasive question that keeps coming up, particularly from family members of people who have become involved in cults, is how could anyone be manipulated into joining something so repulsive as a cult? It might surprise you to know that under the right circumstances, normal, average people can be susceptible to joining a cult. Research indicates that approximately 2/3 of cult members are psychologically healthy people who come from normal families, and only 5 to 6% of those people have major psychological problems prior to joining a cult. So that really intrigues me. Over the course of my career, my position has changed on this topic quite dramatically, actually. Originally, I looked at the people who joined cults as people who were uneducated, unsophisticated, and in many cases, mentally challenged. I've learned over time that while I was partially off base, there are some accurate things that we should consider. While there are certainly isolated examples that would fit this profile, what I've really come to learn is that many cult leaders want just the opposite from their followers. They don't want members who are needy or burdensome. On the contrary, they want people who can bring something to the table, and it usually is money or sex. In most cases, they are not interested in young people who might have a safety net of sorts. Something like a concerned family member who's going to try to get them out of the cult. In the course of doing that, would expose the practices of the cult in any way that they possibly could. In the book, Cults in Our Midst, Doctors Margaret Thaler Singer and Janja Lalich said, "We know that people can be led to buy almost anything. In addition to buying almost anything, people can apparently be led to believe almost anything. Cults know that if you knew from the get-go what you were in for and why, you would never join. It's as simple as that." So what is it, or who is it that sucks these people into a cult? Most people that get recruited into a cult are attracted by either the cult's leader or by what they perceive to be some kind of a unique ideology found in the group. The potential of group membership is offering something to them that they aren't going to get anywhere else. Dr. Janja Lalich is one of the brightest cult experts I have ever had the opportunity to collaborate with. She's an emeritus professor of sociology at California State University, Chico, and she's an expert in cult research. She has some fantastic books that you really ought to look into, and you can read more about her and about cult research at cultresearch.org. But here's why I'm mentioning her. Dr. Lalich developed an important list of social structural and social, psychological, and interpersonal behavioral patterns that are commonly found among cult environments. She said that the group is an elitist group claiming a special exalted state for itself, its leaders, and its members. So I want to leave it with this is the first red flag of a cult. If it's a group that's claiming an elitist or an exalted status, beware. Like with other destructive cults, my book on the Zion Society is about a self-appointed leader who claimed to have special knowledge that was denied to others. He was a self-proclaimed prophet who pretended to be receiving revelation from God. And he deceived and manipulated the religious zealots in the group who followed him by using scriptural language as well as biblical writings in his, quote, heavenly instruction. Cult members were enamored with his knowledge of the scriptures, his belief in polygamy, and his charismatic personality. He promised his followers that they would receive some kind of heavenly exaltation if they heeded his teachings. Again, folks, if the newfound group you're interested in joining claims that they are elitist or exalted in any way, consider this a red flag. In our next segment, we're going to look into the personality characteristics of cult leaders, what it is that really makes them tick. So until then, thanks for watching and thanks for supporting Profiling Evil.